everybody, this is Bonnie from Bonnie's Creative Place, and I am back with card number 4 from my online class. This is the last card that we'll be making in this online class event. So for this class, we use the Ring with Nature bundle, and actually in the catalog, I just wanted to emphasize, I kind of tried to explain it in the last video. These are sold separately now. Last year when it was in the catalog, you could get it as a bundle, but now they sell the stamp set separately, and then where the embossing folders are in the catalog, I'll try to put the page number on there. They sell these two sets together, so that's how it's sold now. And then we are also using the Abundantly Beauty decorative mask, so we'll be using the decorative mask to create in all these cards. So let's get started. This is the card that we are going to be making today. So let's get right into it. First thing I take is a piece of pecan pie, and we are going to use my little mat here again, and we're just going to put this down like so, and then we're going to get the houndstooth embossing folder first, and about two things over, but oh, I forgot one thing we have to do. Get another piece of paper, another piece of scrap paper, and the reason why we're doing this is you're going to hide about 1/4 of an inch. So if you have your grid paper, you could line this up on your grid paper. I'm going to kind of line this line up right here, just eyeballing it. Come up here. I'm going to put it down. That's right on the 1/4 of an inch. Actually, I want to line up this one. I'm just eyeballing it because I want it on this sticky mat, but if you guys want to be more precise, you could just do it right on this and hold it down with some adhesive. Then I'm going to line this one up with here. Oh, I need to rip a little bit off from this because I need a top and a bottom. And I'm going over top of the cardstock. So now I can use my grid paper, and did not make that long enough. And I'm going to hide this one right here, like so. And I need another piece. You want to hide your, you want to hide the outer edge of this. Oh, if I do that, that's not going to be a straight edge. Got to make sure you have a straight edge, though. Yeah. I forgot, and I didn't keep my papers. That was not very good. Okay, it's about right here. Yeah, looking at that, about right there. Because I'll show you on the other paper here quickly in a minute. And then we'll go right here for this one. About right there. It's not quite perfect, it's okay. I'll show you on the original. See how I left this little border around? If you don't want to do that, then you don't have to do all this. But I wanted a border, a little bit of a border all the way around it. So that's how I achieved this. You could do the same thing, just using your grid paper and not using the sticky mat. But I like to be able to turn it, so I like to use the mat. So now I'm just going to put about, it's almost 2. Here I went 2 and a little more, but I think I want to go over. Yeah, I'll just do the same thing. So right about here. We do need some adhesive for this one because obviously we covered it all up with the, I think I shifted that a little bit. We covered it all up with paper, so now there's nothing for the mat to stick to. All right, so now we're going to take Early Espresso ink, and we're going to take our Early Espresso pad. We're going to kind of wipe it on here, and then we are going to sponge away. I should tell you, your hands will get a little colored from this, as you can see my fingers from all the cards I'm doing. So, you know, you can use what do you call it? I can't, my brain, hand sterilizer to prevent it from spreading to your other cards. It won't get rid of it, but it helps prevent it from spreading. I'm trying to be very careful here because I did not put a piece of paper here, but if you went over a little bit, we are covering it. So it wouldn't, I mean, it wouldn't matter, but still, I'm trying to be mindful to not go over off the mat. And I really kind of want this good and dark because I want it to really stand out. So I'm really giving it a lot of ink. I think that might be, I think I might have it. Excuse me. Let's peel this up and see. Yes, voila. Okay. And then we'll move this. I think I might have more than 1/4 of an inch around. It looks like I might have like a 1/2 inch, which means I might, for my paper here, I might have to trim it a little bit if I don't want that, if I don't want it to look crazy. Okay. So now we're going to flip this over. We'll set that aside for a minute. Now we're done with the Early Espresso ink for now. Now we're going to bring in, we have 2 white pieces. We have a little one and a big one. We're going to use the bigger one. Got a piece of hair in there. And we're just going to place this on my sticky mat. You can place it on your grid paper, wherever you, whatever surface you have. And now we're going to bring in these decorative daffodil, daisies, sunflowers. I'm not sure what they're called anymore, but we're going to bring these in. Okay. And I am, now normally I'd line up these notches everywhere I want them to go. But as you could see, I have them all over my paper. So there's really no right or wrong. You're just going to have to line it up, which I don't think you guys will have trouble with this one. It's very, very simple. So let's see, I got something right there on my mat. Oh, must be ink. So I am going to, I want this down here in this corner. So I'm going to just do this right here. I like that. And I am, actually, I want it over just a tad more. There, I want this kind of closer there. So there we go. And I am going to put a piece of tape on there and a piece of tape over here on the bottom of this. So I am taking Daffodil Delight, and I got Wild Wheat out here. You'll understand in a minute. This is my Wild Wheat and my yellow colors. So when I dip this into this yellow, it's going to come out with a little daffodil or a little Wild Wheat, and that's what's giving me this different look of a color. It's not real bright. So I am going to go like this and sponge some off, but you see not a lot comes out, but it's enough to make a difference. So I am just going to dab this in here. Now if I let it dry completely, you wouldn't have even noticed, but because I just did the other card and these are back-to-back videos, that's why you're noticing it. So I am going to sponge this, and first you're seeing just the yellow, but the more I push on my brush, now if you don't want this, unless you have separate, then you don't have to do this. Then you will start seeing me picking up some of the Wild Wheat that was already underneath. So if you didn't want to push hard, then you wouldn't see it, but I want a lot of color in here. So when I noticed that, I really liked it. It was actually, I did it by mistake. I didn't do it on purpose. And then I'm like, oh, I used it right away. I didn't let it dry. So now I've got this wheat color in there, and I liked it. So I ended up keeping it in. In some places you could see it, in some places you can't. So then I went over a little bit of it with the Wild Wheat. You'll see here in just a second, just to give it a little bit more of a color. So now I'm going to bring in the Wild Wheat. I'm very lightly tapping this in there, and then I'm just going to bring it over and put it on the edges of these. Just a tiny bit. I don't want it a lot. And it seems like it's just doing its own highlighting. I don't know. I just really liked it. So then I'm going to peel this off. And now I'm going to move it over here because I want one of these little sunflowers up in this corner. Okay. I think that's, oh no, I want it on the page just a little bit more. Yeah, I have it more on the page. Kind of like they're almost touching. There we go. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to dab it in here, and I'm going to really push it with the Daffodil Delight. And then I'm gonna lightly dab it in my mustard, or my wild wheat. I called it mustard. Because it kind of looks like a mustardy color, but they call it wild wheat. And then I dab it, and when they dry, I don't know how to explain it to you, but it looks like a real sunflower to me. I mean, not that the yellow doesn't, but I just feel like it made it more. Look what I did, everybody. First time I've done that. I did not watch where I was coloring, because I was so fascinated with the color. I went off the page. I have this little mark right there, very, very faint. I think I might be able to hide it a little bit with the green and with the grading. So we will keep our fingers crossed, but just so you know, there's no mistakes. We'll just keep going. All right, so we're done with these two colors for now. Okay. Now we're going to grab this, oh, not this one, this one. And we're going to line up. Now this is where you have to line up your centers to whatever you like, because it lines up really great. That's what I'm saying. This one is not a hard one if you want to put it in different directions and stuff like that. So now we're going to use Pecan Pie. Okay. And this is the one with just the holes. And I kind of wanted this really like dark in the area. So I really... So you don't make the mistake I made with going off the page. Definitely be mindful if you're going over top of something. And I should have flipped the paper around. But I think I can hide it. It's not that dark. I don't know if it even picks up on the camera. Okay. So now I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to rotate it so that it's over here. Be mindful of these holes that I do not make a mistake, and just keep doing this little spot right here. I want this pretty dark. There we go. Now I got it good and dark. There we go. Okay. All right, so we're done with that part. Then we're going to take this one and we're going to line this one up with our pieces here. Just like so here. There we go. And now we are going to go back to the Early Espresso color. And we're going to grab the Early Espresso and we're going to go right over top of this. Okay, so it looks just like that. Ta-da! I love that when you pull that away. Oops. And then kind of go here. You know what? I'm worried that that little bit of ink, I don't think it went through, but I don't want to take a chance. So I'm going to put that piece underneath there. I must have done this the other direction last time because I don't remember putting it over top of the card like this. But whatever works. And this is not where it needs to be. There we go. And then we're just going to color it in so it's nice and dark. And we're just doing this one side. Okay. And then we're going to peel it up. All right. Isn't that looking stunning? I mean, I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, but I'll tell you, it looks awesome. Looks really, really nice. Now we're going to get our garden green. And we are going to take the mask, and I've got one going right here, and I'm going to put it right over top of most of this yellow one, just like that. I'm going to put this tape right here so I don't make any mistakes of going off the page. I'm going to get my green, and I am just going to blend this right in really good. There we go. I think that's good. Let me see about up here on the top a little bit. Yep. Okay. Oh, you can't even tell that I put it there. That's so exciting. So now I do have a little tip. I think I can fit it in here. A little tip on here. Okay. And then let's see, where else do I have one? I have one over here. I'll go in a little ways. I try to go in as far as I can to get as much of the leaf that I can get. Okay. And these will dry a little bit lighter. It may look very dark, but it does dry lighter. And then I put one right going down, not all the way, but kind of, I mean, I almost could, but I like it off the page a little. Okay. There we go. I love this garden green. I love greens anyways, but garden green is wonderful. So there we have it. We have done all our parts for this one. And then we're going to flip this over and take it out just like that. So that's what it ended up looking like. You can't see, I had a line right here and I put that green right over it. You can't even see it. So that's wonderful. All right, now we're going to set this aside. Oops, I took my linen thread I'm going to need here in a minute. Okay, we are going to close that up. We're going to flip this over, put this back in the middle. Now we're going to do some stamping. I've got, oh, I closed up the Early Espresso. Need that again. And I put loving and warmth, love and warmth. I just thought you might want to send somebody a card to cheer them up here. And we're going to fussy cut this out. So there we go. Now we're done with all the inking. We're going to go ahead and just give this a quick little fussy cut. Always remember when you're fussy cutting, you move the paper and not the scissors. Scissors stay still. And that's what gives you a nice, good cut. Okay. So now we got our Early Espresso, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're just going to give this a good score. Just like that. Now, because I did say that I was afraid, because I did like a 1/2 inch border on all this, and I don't want that. So I think I'm going to trim, well, if I trim that, I'm going to trim there. If I trim there, I don't know if I want to trim any of it. If I go over it, it looks weird, like I don't have all of this stuff. I got to trim it. I gotta, guys. I got to trim like 1/4 inch off it, because it's just not right to me. It's okay. It's still going to look good. Yes. So make sure you have your 1/4 inch mark and not a 1/2 inch mark lined up like I did when you go and put it down. Okay. So now we're going to put this on here. And I just kind of lined it up, eyeballing the outer parts so that they're like equal parts, like that. Then about here, I'm going to put some snail there and some snail down there. I'm going to take a piece of linen thread. I'm going to catch it here, the end of it. I'm going to go down, around, down, and back down the middle. Well, no, I didn't do that. I lied. Okay, I went down, come down on this way. Okay, let's start that again. And put the thing in the back. We're going to come down this way on this side. We're going to come back up, cross it in the back, cross it over, then come down the middle, and then catch it in the back. Whew! So it's like a zigzaggy here in the center. Okay? And then we're going to put our this onto our base. So just like so. Okay. It looks like that. Then we're going to take our Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to put one on each side of this so that that linen thread can go right in the middle. So we're going to put that right there. Then I have some very fun in color dots is what they call them. And this is the Wild Wheat, and right here. And I end up using 3 of these. I put one right about there. If I can pick them up. That's the only thing with these dots. These ones are different. And all the rest will come off with my little scissors. And these ones are little tweezers. And this one gives me a hard time. I don't know. Anybody has a tip for me, leave it in the description box. Oh, I'm going to leave this one up here. And then I put this one right there. And you could add Wink of Stella if you want. You could do whatever you want to it. But this is my card number 4. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. And I'll see you next month with next month's online class. Bye-bye.